Hello guys, just want to show you my Baja, which I recently finished. I started the project about a year ago. It was a slow project because I got all the goodies in this Baja, and as you know, the parts doesn't come cheap. So it took me a while to build this thing. I got a very cheap Baja clone, and most of the parts were replaced, but I still got left from the clone. I've got the engine and the fuel tank. Just want to show you how, from my point of view, Baja should look. Most of the parts I ordered from DDM USA. As you know, they are in dollars and much cheaper compared to England, which they have pounds and they have a higher rate. I'm gonna start from the front. I have the wheels that I have are some KM wheels, I think. Got it about eBay. They were very cheap, so I said I'm gonna give them a try. At first look, they look alright, but I don't know how long they're gonna last, so we're gonna see. Anyway, going further on, I have the hot racing steering knuckles, which, honest to be with you, I know Hot Racing is not a renamed company for their parts, but this one seems pretty good made, so I hope they'll hold up very good and won't have any slopes in the bearings. Also have over there, probably it's hard to see, I have the dark sole extenders, which eliminates the E-clip. Now uses a screw to hold it in place so it won't come off. RPM arms, I choose the wide ones because I was thinking myself that maybe in the future I'm gonna dye them in some color, probably red, just to go with the body, but I don't know, for the moment I'm just gonna leave them white. What do we have next? Team Fast Eddie cone ball combo. I have the sway bar in the front. I don't know if I'm gonna remove it or not, but for the moment I'm gonna keep it and see how it does. RPM bumper. I was thinking to go between RPM or Uber RC, but I kind of like the look of the RPM bumper, so that's what I bought it. I seen some people breaking the bumper, but we'll see. Hope it's not gonna happen in this case. As you can see, I have some big bore shocks. These are innovative RC shocks. Everybody loves them, and they're beefy enough, but because they are so beefy, as you can see, I had to use a countersunk screw on the upper arm so it doesn't bind with the shock. As you can see, it's pretty close, but doesn't bite at the moment, so I think it's pretty good setup at the moment. As a bulkhead, I didn't go with the aluminium. I just kept a mix of aluminum parts and plastic parts. As you can see, the orange part is a nylon KM made, which gives, I hope so, more elasticity than the stock one. So it absorbs whatever impacts are they gonna be.
I did change the hinge pins as well, as you can see. I think they are Kraken RC, and they are using a screw at the back, so easy to remove. No more eclipse, no more slopes. As well, guys, if you use RPM arms, you don't need anymore the spacers. As you can see here, there is no spacer. That's about it on the front. I still have the stock turnbuckles, as they have plastic rod ends, so if something happens as well, they can snap, and it's cheap replacement, I would say. Won't be a big deal. I know there are, I think Fonzie RC is making some beefy ones, full metal, but for the moment I'm not too sure I'm gonna swap for them or not. We'll see how these are gonna hold on. Top plate. Top plate is a Turtle Racing top plate, beefy, strong, quite a good setup. Now, I'm pretty sure that the front of the chassis won't bend. That's because I also have innovative RC Kickup plate, which makes even beefier. As you can tell, the chassis has a weak point just here in the front where it's bent, but by using this combo, a lot of people are happy with that, so it doesn't break anymore. What do we have more in the front? Yeah, I have the Turtle Racing Servo Saver. It's more beefy than the plastic stock one, and also has different setup for the spring. And there you go, that's the spring. And I had only good reviews of that, so for the moment, I know there is some other mods that you can do with the stock ones to get some aluminum parts in the plastic one, but I got the Turtle Racing one and I'm happy with that. Continuing on with the electronics, I have a Rhino Servo up there. Now this Rhino Servo is very hard to find, as it's made by Multiplex, right? And the Multiplex its own are making as well the high-tech servos, so they're kind of replacing these Rhino servos, but I got it off eBay. It was hard to find, but finally got it. It's shorter than a Savox one, so I had to use a different Servo Holder. So for that reason, I got the full force aluminum holder, beefy setup, strong one. As I told you before, I'm using a mix of plastic and aluminum. I also have the full force clamps, which hope it will provide a good support for the plastic servo, and it won't break on impacts or I don't know. It might not break, but just in case, I just doubled up the servo holder. And as well, I have the DDM aluminum servo horn with stock HPI steering linkage. This one as well is plastic, so if anything happens to the steering, it won't bore my servo. It will break my steering linkage. So radio box. Now the radio box doesn't have anything special in it. I'm using a Spectrum radio. I have the stock HPI home pack battery and throttle and brake servo. It's a Savox. It's a monster one. I don't know if I'm gonna need all this power. It's a Savox 1 SA1230. Has about 35 kilograms force, but I bought it just in case I need the extra force. Some people are complaining about the Bajas are not braking, they're not stopping on time. Some of them are using disc brakes, but most of the people say that those disc brakes are crap. As long as you have a good brake at the back, the stock brake, the original brake, if it brakes if it's set up perfectly and it brakes perfectly, that's no reason for adding the front disc brakes. All right, chassis. I have the stock HPI chassis, no need to change. Although I could have gone for the innovative RC chassis, which is people say are strong. It's a stronger one, but for the moment I have the HPI one. If something happens, probably I will switch with innovative RC. As you can see, I have as well windows. Those are metal ones, made it myself. Just because for some reason the plastic ones keep cracking, and I got myself some laser cut metal windows. All right, try to open it a little bit to see what's inside. Now, for the fueling, I have the 668 carburetor with the bearing mod for the throttle, right? So it doesn't rub anything. I have a thin chase valve filter, TGN short stack angled air filter, and I can't remember what this is. This is not the stock one. I bought it, I don't know if it's a full force, but it's like a butterfly. It's longer than the stock one, so it doesn't bind my throttle linkage. Yeah, the throttle linkage is not stock. I got one from Yamadude. It's much better than the stock one. Works nicely, smooth, and doesn't bind anymore. The stock did. That's about it. As you can see, I have the stock engine. The person that sold me the clone Baja said that it's a 30.5 engine. By this time I didn't find any engraving or any identity of this engine, but I had a video preview and I started the engine and it sounds nice and roundy. Doesn't cog, doesn't anything, it just works perfectly. It just remains to see on the road how it's gonna be. If not, I'm thinking I'm gonna switch with an OBR, but for the moment this one I prefer it. Team Fat Dad engine braces, as you can see, the thickness of them is probably double or triple than the stock ones. I have the Fat Dad RC over there, Fat Dad on the other side, and also have the Fat Dad engine brace. The engine brace is much needed for the pull start cover, right? It doesn't crack. People had problems with them, and they said since they installed the Fat Dad RC engine brace, they don't have any problems anymore now. What else? I don't want to forget anything as I'm going. As you can see, I have an aluminum pull start. It's a Rovan RC pull start. Does the job very well. I don't have any outerwear on the pull start. It has a couple of holes inside, but I didn't feel necessary to have the outerwear cover. Also for the screw, I have the thumb screws from Fonzie RC. Less easy access now. even in the field it breaks, easy replaceable. Just remove them, fix the pull start or replace the pull start, and there you go. Yeah, just forgot to tell you guys, I have in the front the Turtle Racing combo for the shocks. As well, I have the Turtle Racing tower at the back for the shocks as well. Replaced the clutch, brand new one, the 8K clutch with a red spring. Nothing fancy. I know there are so many clutch setups on the market, but I just stay with the stock one. So here we go. At the rear, as you can see, I have some on-road tires. These are some it says Starbuck Buster, but I don't know if they're HPI or there are some cheap clones, as I got them when I bought the car. But I have on order the Hostile MX tires, the hard compound, as well Silverbacks rims with Silverback V2 bead locks, heavy duty bead locks, right? RPM arms at the back as well. I have the cuffs for the ball joint, which is a stock one, the plastic one from HPI, and I have the cuffs. Those are made by Hemistorm, if I'm not mistaken. It keeps the ball joint for breaking apart. Some people have trouble with them. I know you can get as well the metal ones, but I prefer the plastic ones, and I hope they're gonna do the job. For the transmission, right, I have the Turtle Racing top plate, right, Turtle Racing one piece brake mount, stock brakes, and as you can see, I use the HPI power control simple clutch just to protect the drive gear and just to give me that bump out of corners. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking specifically for high speeds, but more like getting out from corners faster. Yeah, right. As well, for the transmission housing, I have the Turtle Racing quick diff, and what does that do? It just takes you about 10 to 15 minutes to take apart the differential and having serviced, instead of taking the rear of the car apart just to remove the transmission. I think this is the GBE, yeah, GBE motor mount. Yeah, it's normally the stock one. I don't understand it. I don't know the reason why they did it like that, but it's only held in one place, like here with this screw, as in GBE has two screws holding the engine, so much stronger. Right, what else, guys? What else? Yeah, innovative RC big bore shocks, beefy enough. All right, I have the Hostile hubs, Hostile one piece hubs, right? You can choose between 0, 2, 3 or 4 degree. I went with a 2 degree, as was recommended by people from the other forums. Also have the Team Fast Eddy Pro bearings. For the drive frame, I'm using the HPI 5 short course setup. You can see the dog bones are beefy enough. The drive cups are beefier than normal, and on the drive cups I have the dark salt tubes so they don't break easily. Also, for the quick release, I have a system from Fonzie RC. Very nice made, very cheap. What else? What else? What else should I show you? Tower shock holders. I think they are Kraken RC. Yeah, much stronger. They have holes, so they hold much better than the stock ones, which they don't have holes. Of course, they can be modified with a simple hole and do the nut mode, but I prefer just to replace them with those, which are much beefier. HPI aluminum shock tower support, right? Normally there are plastic ones, but I got the aluminum ones. These are some cheap made dog bones protectors for dust and stuff like that, made of some rubber thing and held in place by some zip ties. Nothing fancy, nothing special, just to give a little extra protection. I have the shock limiter cables from Killer RC. I don't have yet the kill switch from Killer RC, but that's a must. I will buy it as soon as it's available on DDM. At the moment it's out of stock, so next time guys, no problem. The exhaust, I went with a DDM Dominator V2 pipe, which gives a nice strong sound. Probably for some people too strong, but for me it's quite nice. I like it. We'll see how it does. And also this pipe gives me good low end revs, so I'm happy with that. On top of that I have the RPM rear bumper, so it gives much protection to the exhaust. It doesn't bend or anything. This will do the job. In the meantime, I have to order as well. Normally this bumper comes with two plastic holders, but I'm gonna order from Fonzie RC the metal ones, just for the, maybe even for the look as well, but I know they are metal so they won't break anyway. Just in case if I jump the car and it lands on the bumper, it's being held in place by those two metal ones. Right guys, I don't know if I missed something. Oh yeah, I think I did. I have the rear, you can really see it. The rear chassis, yeah, it's now covered. The rear chassis here underneath, you can't really see it, but it's in it's an innovative RC rear chassis, twice as thick than the original one, so it won't bend. No problems with that. As you can see, I have a missing part from here. I don't have the clutch system, but I just ordered the Vertigo easy access clutch system, which I find it quite nice. It doesn't take too long to do the maintenance for the clutch. It's about, as they showing in the movie, about 1 or 2 minutes just to remove the whole assembly apart, and then do whatever you have to do with the clutch. Now that being said guys, I think that's it. Not too much. This is my idea of how would I have built a Baja, a mix of plastic and aluminum. Now all these ideas I got them from the forums. I picked up the best ideas from the forums.
based on what people had, what experience they had with some parts and some not to buy. But I think I did a pretty good job. We'll see how it's gonna end in the field. As you can see, it's clean as I don't have the clutch system, but don't worry, as soon as I'm gonna get the clutch system, I just ordered now from DDM. It's on its way to me, so probably it will take a week, and then the car will be out on the road, on the asphalt, because at the moment I have only the asphalt tires. But as soon as I get the order from Silverback RC, I will have a full video with my Baja running on dirt. So guys, thanks very much for looking. Don't forget to press the like button.